I love asking people what their favorite song is because I felt like it always changes for me, but in the beginning it was Escape, then it was Dream, and then now it's In Between. And to hear people choose In Between, I feel like is so interesting because I didn't expect people to choose In Between. Hi, this is Mika, and you're watching Mix, the beat of our culture.
Made myself a promise to never let you go. It's all I ever wanted. You're everything I know.
First off, hearing that I have a lot of Filipino fans or fans of the Philippines makes me really happy. I mean, I grew up in Hawaii and I have many, many Filipino friends. So I've always wanted to go to the Philippines because I've heard of their families back home. And hopefully one day I can go there and meet all the fans in the Philippines. But yeah, speaking about intersection, I mean, I think ultimately it shaped who I am as an artist overall because that was my introduction into the industry. Um, I entered intersection when I was about 15 or 16 years old, so it was literally my start into music and into this industry. So while I was in intersection, I learned how to make music, I learned how to sing, and I just learned about the music industry in itself. So it shaped my own style of music. I learned that I liked R&B while I was in intersection. And yeah, I mean, I'm just who I am today, I feel like, because of that whole experience, because that lasted, I feel like 8 years. So definitely it shaped who I am just as an artist overall, since it was my beginning and foundational years.
Less of you are fun in the back of my head. But time can be cruel. Doesn't always work.
Well, I think the biggest challenge I always say was the language barrier because when I went to that show, I knew I had to speak Chinese, but I didn't have any preparation of learning Chinese as a language in advance. So I remember before I went to that show, I think in advance, maybe like a month in advance, I started to take Chinese classes, but it didn't prepare me for the amount that I had to speak while on that show. So it was really hard to really express myself and to communicate what I wanted to the audience behind the camera, to the fans, and to the contestants on the show. So that was definitely a challenge because I wanted to make friends and I wanted to be a bit more genuine, but it was hard to do that through the little Chinese that I had. But besides that, I would say an unexpected way that I got comforted, hmm, I think was probably through the contestants that were on that show. I thought that while being on the show, it would be really hard for me to make friends because of that language barrier. I thought it would be a bit uncomfortable, but actually everybody was really warm. They're really open and they were caring for me because they understood that I was a foreigner and I was a bit out of my comfort zone. So everyone was really nice. They greeted me with open arms and they all tried to speak English because they knew I couldn't speak Chinese. So that was definitely something that made me feel really comfortable and I don't know, just able to move forward on that show. And I'm really happy that I made the friends that I made while being on that show. So definitely, yeah. I remember there were a lot of Chinese friends I made on that show that I still talk to this day. So I'm grateful for that.
Saw it in a dream. Looked a little different than I thought it'd be.
I guess it wouldn't necessarily be a reinvention. I think it still goes along the timeline of the solo projects I've been putting out. But I think the interesting thing is that every solo project I put out is a bit different because I feel like I change as a person over time, and every year I'm different, and what I want to express changes as well. So I feel like this project is a different side of me where it's expressing something a bit more deeper to me rather than I don't know. In the past, I feel like the things that I wrote about were all kind of in the same area, the same range, but I felt like this was something that I had to dig a bit deeper to find and to express. So definitely this can can show the fans and show the audience something a bit more personal to me, but I hope that it can also connect with a wider audience because I feel like this concept of homesick, a lot of people, probably everybody, have experienced some aspect of being homesick or feeling homesick. So I feel like because of that, it was a cool project, a cool concept to write about because other people could also understand it. It feels really good. It was really cool to see uh, a lot of the listeners, their reaction to it, their comments online, and to hear what their favorite song was because I knew that this concept could reach a wider audience since people have experienced homesickness. So to see their stories, to see how they understood it, how they interpreted the songs themselves, how it was different from me, or maybe the same as me, I felt like was really cool and comforting for me because it made me feel like I accomplished something with this project, with the lyrics that I wrote, with all three songs. So it definitely gave me confidence and inspiration to do more things like this, to connect with my audience more and to write something for them rather than for me. Probably right when I left Hawaii, which I guess is my physical home since I was born and raised there. But I feel like after I left Hawaii, I always tried to find like that sense of home or what made Hawaii feel like home to me. And I felt like after years of being outside of Hawaii and going back and feeling that feeling of me being in Hawaii again, but then leaving back to the city that I moved to, I felt like it was really weird to associate home with a place because I felt like if that's the case, then I would just have to go back to Hawaii to feel like that home feeling again. But I felt like it was something more than that and it could be deeper than that. So I wanted to understand why Hawaii made me feel like home, why it made me feel a sense of comfort and happiness and nostalgia. And I felt like ultimately it was because of the experiences I had there. It was because of those years that I lived in Hawaii and what those contents consisted of. So I felt like that would mean it was either my friends, my family, the fun experiences I had, the sad experiences I had, the ups and downs. So I felt like because of that, that would mean I could have that home feeling and that sense of comfort no matter where I was. So I feel like I finally understood that this year. I always try to think about it, but I could never really find the exact point. But I felt like this year, after I moved to Shanghai and I started to prioritize my personal life and reconnect with soccer, which is what I did when I was a kid. And I don't know, I guess prioritize like happiness more and laughter more and not taking stress too seriously. I feel like after I did that, I finally understood that no matter where I am, I can feel that sense of home and comfort and that sense of nostalgia. So yeah, I feel like right now, me being where I am right now in my life, I definitely feel like I'm at home and I can be where I am right now for the rest of my life. So I think it's a really interesting circle. And I'm happy I finally kind of like connected the dots with that. So yeah. I guess I'll walk you through the tracks first. So the first track is Escape, second is In Between, and third is Dream. So they go along the timeline of my life where Escape is basically expressing my feeling while I was in Hawaii of wanting to, I guess, like more or less escape the small island that I grew up on and to to want more for my future, to want to live in a bigger city, to want more opportunity. And that was kind of my thought process while I was living in Hawaii, where I felt like I was living in paradise. I felt like I was really happy, but in the back of my head, I felt like there was always something more, or maybe I was outgrowing the place that I was living. So Escape is about that, and In Between is about that change where I finally moved out of Hawaii. I moved to the big city, but it was a bit different than what I expected. It wasn't all that fast-paced big city lifestyle, happiness, new friends. It was a bit more lonely, a bit harder to adjust. So In Between expresses that sense of loneliness and that sense of confusion. And then Dream is, I guess, me understanding that it's hard for me to find what home means to me. It's hard for me to understand how I can feel that home, how I can feel that sense of home, how I can feel that hole in me. So because of that, I can only dream about it. So I always yearn to dream because I feel like I can only feel that sense of home by dreaming. So I feel like Dream was the one song that I could have wrote very differently because ultimately Dream was supposed to be kind of the concept was supposed to be the return. So either returning back to home or finally finding like what home means to me. But instead I took the route where I wanted to be open-ended and I wanted it to be like I haven't found it yet, so I can only dream about it. So Dream, I felt like conceptually took a bit of thinking because I had different routes to choose from. But I would say besides that, when it came to the story and which song was hard for me to write about, I think they're all really easy because I've lived through all of them. But I would say that In Between was the one song that I guess like hit a bit more personally because certain lines like, what is it? I think in the second verse, there's a line that's like, old friends are older, I wish we were closer. Although that line is really, really simple, every time I listen to it, it just makes me feel sad because it's super true. Where I think about my past and what I had before and my old friends, and I think about how old we are now and how it's been like like 10 plus years and how I can never go back to that time and just how we're growing further and further apart. And it just like the realness of that really hit me when I wrote it. And besides that, even like the line in that song where it's like, it's just me and my suitcase passing through places, it's starting to feel like an endless vacation. Like I feel like that line really hits to me too, because my job requires me to move around so much and fly to different cities and countries. And I never can really be in one place. Even though I have an apartment, I'm never here. So it's just like, it's always just me and my suitcase. And I feel like I'm honestly on like this endless vacation. So when I listen to that song, it literally expresses my current feeling and what I feel sad about now. So that song definitely hits me a bit more personally. And also In Between, I feel like the production of that song took the longest because I had a really weird like experimental vision for it, and I took over like a month to edit that. But at the end, I didn't take the experimental route. So that song was interesting. Yeah. Okay. Definitely tank top. I always have like tank tops in my suitcase. Hat. I always have this hat in my suitcase. I wear this hat every day. Third one. Yeah, I guess my phone. I feel like I only need these things. Yeah. Oh wait, no. These boots. I wear these. There's this pair of boots I wear every single day. I would pack those boots. My tank tops. So no matter where I go, I have a pack of tank tops. These like white tank tops, and I probably pack like 5 of them, but I never wear them. But they're always in my suitcase, so I definitely overpack that. Yeah. My face wash. I think I always, because I have to take my face wash out when I'm home, and sometimes I forget to repack it. So I get to the place and I'm always like, oh my God, I don't have my face wash. And then I either have to use my staffs or I have to like go out and buy it. And I literally have to do that every single month. So it's really annoying. So definitely face wash. Sometimes my passport. And then I have to run back home or I have to like change my flight and get my passport. So I guess like these two things. I think just moisturizer, like just like moisturizer overall, I think is all I need. Just because most of the places I go to are pretty dry and the airplane is super dry, so I always have to have moisturizer. And chapstick. I need chapstick all the time because my lips for some reason are dry all the time. So chapstick. I guess like a neck pillow. I feel like I always like to have a neck pillow. Besides that, what else do I need in an airport? I think that's it, right? And a neck pillow. I think when I'm in an airport, I love to have neck pillows just because I feel like I'm always early, so I have to just like sleep at the airport. So definitely neck pillow, yeah. I guess there's different ways I can do it, but I would say one would be plants. I used to have certain plants that were indigenous to Hawaii that made me feel like home. The other one would be I have this like picture of my family that I bring everywhere. So I feel like that picture probably um would make me feel like home no matter where I am. So probably the picture, yeah. Honestly, I don't know because I feel like I am finally comfortable. I feel like I'm settled here, so I'm not really yearning for anything else. I'm not like dreaming for something more right now. Although my whole life I've been doing that, I feel like right now I feel comfortable at the place I'm at the step I'm at. So I don't know. I hope I can just continue what I have right now. Yeah, I feel like I'm pretty set on that. For sure. I just released some new singles, three to be exact, so I hope you guys can go check it out. It describes my life story and where I'm at currently in life, and I hope it can help you guys too. So please check out my new project, Homesick. Thank you.